Höstblod is a Swedish black or black folk band which is here for review. Interestingly enough, this CD already came out in 2018, yet it's still not on Metal Archives. To be honest, I didn't have time to check out why, nor do I really care. I was just wondering because this is still metal release and yet at the same time it's not on the site. Don't know why, because it's not like Wolfspell Records, which is the one releasing. This one is too small or unknown label, but nevertheless, here it is. And while I don't have Metal Archives link for you to share, I do have the Bandcamp and Facebook link in the description box, and I will show you the Bandcamp page when I talk to you about the album. But first, let's just do a little bit of sort of a simple unboxing with this CD release. As you can see, this is a digipack with a black and white or black, white, gray design, kind of a nature feeling with this one. Then we have a rather thick booklet. Oops, and that went down to the floor because I am clumsy as hell. And here, I don't know how well it actually shows you, but here you have this recording and instrument information, and it's curious because this one actually says that this is done all, music written by Johan Nilsson. And that is not that important or interesting anyways, because this is a solo project of sorts, but it also says that Nina Nilsson is doing violin and cello, and also Emma Hager doing cello. And now this gets interesting because it says Edith Nilsson is doing additional vocals for one track, and Johan Nilsson plays vocals, guitars, bass, drums, piano, banjo, vibraphone, xylophone, wind chime, and accordion. So lots of instruments included in this one. And curious enough, and this is maybe the most interesting part, is that this is recorded in the living room of the Nilsson family. One could even say this is a Nilsson family black metal. So what we actually have here is a family black metal project. And I can imagine those one-track special guest vocals are probably by the kid of the band, because at least it certainly sounds like that. Now musically, this is for those who are not so much interested in the most extreme forms of black metal, because what I would actually say, this is low-fat, low-salt black metal, or more like folk black, which is a curious thing because not everything here sounds too much like black metal, but it's like a combination of sorts, being a kind of organic sounding and not too distorted, not too extreme in any ways, but kind of like black metal entry-level stuff. Let's take a look at the metal, not Metal Archives, but Bandcamp side for the band. Since then it seems like Höstblod, which roughly translates, I guess, Autumn Blood, has put out another release, but since Mörkrets intåg is the album which we're talking about, I'm just gonna show it you here. It seems like it's already sold out, being it's already 2 years old album. Then again, this came very, very late to the review, so it's one of those backlog things which I'm going through. So here it says one-man black metal project from northern Sweden. Well, everything from the name, it really sounds very Swedish, and that applies to the vocals as well, obviously, because the language there is Swedish. Now, where it actually gets curious is that this album is more original than most Swedish black metal bands, because music here is like not exactly pure folk, but it definitely have these folk elements with diversity of different instruments, but also because of the kind of organic and nature-driven feeling with the music. That is, it's mostly rather melancholic. It's kind of a lightweight for black metal. It's not dark, it's not really sinister, it's not evil sounding, but it's more like music you could basically play by the bonfire. The kind of organic nature feeling is very much there, even without the use of piano and other instruments which are not so metal oriented. For example, the cello and violin very much bring closer to your typical folk music than just typical black metal release. Now there are these kind of black metal vocals which are actually quite good, and they are probably the one that separates this from the music which people who are not into black metal would listen to. So this is kind of a dividing factor, because some people who might be interested in this kind of music are not necessarily interested because of the black metal vocals. Then again, for pure black metal heads, this is maybe even too lightweight, too folky stuff. So it's kind of a niche release in so many ways. Now, given that this is rather original approach to the music and this particular subgenre, I find this not too enjoyable, and I kind of hate to have to say it, because while I like some of the Melancholy's ideas here, the overall feeling is a little bit like it's still work in progress. While I like some of the ideas quite a bit, too much of the stuff here is not that convincing. I mean, some songs, for example, there are a couple of songs lasting like 13 minutes. It's like bore fest. So I don't know. This is probably kind of a enthusiastic project for the musicians for themselves. You know, let's do a family black metal project which is just gonna tell our story about nature and the countryside and all that stuff. But unfortunately, for people like me who want their black metal grim, dark and sinister and evil sounding, this is not that. So if I want to go folk, I'll go full folk, and if I want to go black metal, this is too lightweight for my taste. Obviously, you be the decide and judge for your own musical taste, and whether or not this is your cup of tea, you're just one click away from listening to all that. But for me, it's kind of a mediocre-ish release with good intention, but not that good execution. Thank you for watching this review. Take care. Bye bye.